Hi, my name is Janet. I was born with Ehlers-Danlos Syndrome, a hereditary connective tissue disorder affecting the collagen, which means my tissues are very weak. I also have complex regional pain syndrome and symptoms of superior canal dehiscence syndrome. This means, among many other things, I have loose, unstable joints, extreme nerve pain, and my eyes and brain can shake in response to noise or stress, which can completely incapacitate me, making me often respond as if I were an autistic person on sensory overload. Due to the EDS, I've had my feet reconstructed, bilateral bunionectomies, both of my knees scraped of scar tissue from constantly dislocating, bilateral capsular shift to reattach my shoulders, all of my teeth removed, a hysterectomy, and a total of 7 hernias repaired, along with many other surgeries. The nerve pain can vary from the sensation of exploding or shooting fire through my body, feeling as if my hand is being crushed in a vise, my bones being broken, being stabbed in the eye, ear, head, or violently through my body, feeling as if my colon were being electrocuted, sweat feeling like each pore is pushing out the drops with 2-inch long needles, extreme nausea, and many other bizarre and excruciating sensations. I would scream in agony so often that my husband started to exhibit signs of PTSD from my screams. I started out needing a pain medication for joint pain, and that led to many other prescriptions, including up to 125 micrograms of fentanyl per hour, along with oxycodone, 3 antidepressants at a time, anti-anxiety medication, and many more. At one point, I was taking 29 prescriptions at once. I spent the bulk of 14 years in a hospital bed in my home and wasted 25 years being disabled and suffering immensely. When the CRPS and SCDS symptoms came on 5 years ago, I could no longer function and knew that if I didn't find some hope, there would come a day when I would choose to no longer live. On the average, CRPSers get 0 to 2 hours of sleep per night. Add to that the excruciating nerve pain, nausea, and other symptoms, and I realized why CRPS is called a suicide disease and why people have had their limbs amputated or taken their lives from the hopelessness of it all. I prayed for God to help me manage all of this and went to a local wellness center where I asked the doctor there to help me save my life. When I walked in, I had to do so with my eyes closed, walking very slowly, holding onto my husband's shoulders in order to avoid being in my wheelchair. The doctor at the wellness center had me use a PEMF mat, and after the very first session, I was able to walk out on my own and have been able to drive since. For me, PEMF manages my pain, limits the eye and brain shaking, and allows me to sleep. It has also stopped the spread of CRPS in its tracks. The last 6 hernias, repairing 2 and then 4 at a time, I only used PEMF for my post-surgical pain and swelling. At the wellness center, I used the Beamer mat system. After 2 months of using the Beamer, it felt as if the micro blood vessels in my fingertips were burnt. So I did my own research on PEMF and found Swiss Bionic had the best product line. I wasn't sure if I wanted to buy the Omnium 1 or the IMRS system. I was amazed that CRPS was on the list of 284 conditions their systems have been proven to help with. I bought the Omnium 1 and have been getting stronger ever since. I now take no prescriptions at all. I do take a wonderful supplement which helps greatly, and I think part of the reason it helps so much is because the PEMF is opening my micro blood vessels, allowing the nutrients to be delivered to all of my cells, helping me to get the most out of the nutrients. I've taken my PEMF system as far as 7 hours away for free to share with others that there is hope for healing naturally. With my own eyes, I've seen people with MS, EDS, sciatica issues, migraines, spinal cord injuries, SCDS, a CFS leak, even COVID have wonderful results. I've seen people with nerve damage whose toes were numb and hadn't been able to move them for 5 months use my system and within 10 minutes wiggling their toes and giggling in disbelief. I've seen people who were told by their doctors that they had stage 4 bone-on-bone knee pain and would have to have both of their knees replaced to relieve the pain be pain-free after 3 days of using my system. I've seen a little boy so sick with COVID and coughing use my system and then ask for food for the first time in days. And when he got on my system, I saw him quit coughing. I've also seen a man with COVID and double pneumonia be able to take a deep breath without coughing after just 20 minutes of PEMF. For me, PEMF has been life-saving and life-changing. Instead of being disabled, I now get to travel around and show people that there's no need to suffer endlessly or to take endless medications that seem to just cause the need for more medications. I love my life now. My dog has had his own amazing results. He had a blocked saliva duct in his neck that the vet said would have to be surgically removed. The vet said nothing would make it go down and it would only get bigger. It took less than 10 days of PEMF, 10 minutes a day, and it was completely gone. Recently, my dog had a bladder infection and was urinating blood. I put him on my system for an hour and a half, and his urine returned to yellow. He did at least 5 hours of PEMF daily for the following week, and we never did go to the vet. He's fine now. I've saved so much in medical bills, veterinary bills, and medication for me and my dog, as well as prevented immeasurable suffering by using PEMF. My husband used to push me in a wheelchair, and now he can't keep up with me. I used to take the elevator up the stairs to get to church. Now I run up the stairs and do a Rocky fist pump at the top. I recently walked 5 miles in one day. That's my story. Life is good, God is awesome, and PEMF with Swiss Bionic rocks.